Hello. This video is going to be about why the hedonistic imperative will fail and alternatives. Um, my thoughts is that although the abolitionist project and other similar projects such as utility maximization projects are good, like the abolitionist project, which aims to erase and end all pain and suffering, reduce and eventually eliminate it. And while like happiness maximization would aim to maximize happiness and happiness potentials towards super happiness and beyond, and also raising the ceiling, my thoughts are that even though it's well intentioned, well, those other projects, their frameworks. So although the hedonistic imperative is well intentioned, it will fail. I'll tell you why. Like the so-called cult gene manipulation, those who have a lower amount of cult, they want to claim that, oh yeah, quote, those people are happier. But have you been in their shoes? You haven't. Like, observe what has been observable is that so-called hypo so-called hyperthymia uh, is mostly a myth, and so is hypomania. Not in the sense that they don't exist, but in the sense that such a state cannot be sustained forever. Don't like what you see is that like the quote hyperthymia is, even if it would exist, it would not, doesn't really work because the brain and the body adapts. And this adaptation is precisely why people cannot sustain near hypomanic episodes. This is why they eventually adapt to something that's neutral or like nearly neutral. Maybe it's a little bit above neutral, but it always tries to bring it down to neutral, the mood level, or a little bit above. But that's it. Why? Because as the body and brain wants to maintain homeostasis. This is what it does. This is how it does it. Now, the other thing is the dangers of genetic engineering is that it's like someone who's coming along not knowing anything about the computer programming and then just editing the software without even knowing what the heck they're doing. That's what genetic engineering is like, and it's a bad idea. Utopian pharmacology, nanotechnologies, wireheading, possibly, utopian neurosurgery, brain scans, and other technologies are a better option. And monoamine oxidase inhibitors, and maybe modafinil and kratom. Kratom being a natural plant from Indonesia. Um, and monoamine oxidase inhibitors being effective mood lifters. and neuroprotectives. Like, the danger of comp manipulation is that the so-called happy gene leaves you with a much higher propensity, much higher chance of developing Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease. And I done the research, and you you don't want that so-called gene edit unless you want, like, to get like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's in your 40s or 30s. No one wants that. Uh, that said, the there are people with like lower levels of monoamine oxidase who are a bit happier, but that's a different story. But that aside, how could near hypomanic episodes be sustained? It's not, the answer is not the hedonistic imperative. The answer must come from thinking outside the box. And hence, this is one of the alternatives. This is where the Infinity Dragon project comes in. The Infinity Dragon Super Happiness Project aims to raise the ceiling of happiness towards super happiness and beyond. It aims to, our brains are like colanders. They leak out the super happiness. The the top part of the tank is like a full of holes, so it leaks out. So you can only sustain happiness, but not sustain super happiness. But with with the future technology, it would patch up the holes. So it'd be much smaller, very tinier holes instead of larger holes. So super happiness could be stay there much longer. So one of the things is that there's a thing called memantine. Memantine is an NMDA antagonist. And what this does is memantine is a special molecule, and it helps prevent tolerance to states of super happiness and beyond. It helps protect the brains and the neurons, and it also helps prevent glutamate excitotoxicity. So that means, like, if a, like, something like Adderall, if too much would induce glutamate excitotoxicity, then memantine would prevent that by protecting the neurons, protecting them from that risk, and pre- also preserving super happiness, protecting you, the brain, to keep the brain cells alive and keep everything good. There's also like selegiline, parnate, other monoamine oxidase inhibitors, which combined with low dose Adderall or low dose modafinil and some kratom would probably create pretty good mood lift. The main thing is that future things and present things would make it so that there are much safer ways to create super happiness, and in a way in which you don't adapt to it, so you won't really, it'll slow down the adaptation so that you pretty much don't adapt to super happiness. You could stay super happy forever.